I hate this. That gap time sucks.
Good evening, and welcome to the Mike and Annie Show.
The Mike and Annie show. Yeah, here it goes.
Here we are.
Yes. So Annie's decided that she's old, and at midnight she
No,
gets a year older.
I do.
So it
Four
is.
two, the big 4-2.
So that's Jackie Robinson's favorite number. So we're good there. And I don't know. It seems like a good year to me. I think I don't know what you're worried about. It's going to be your best year yet.
I don't think I'm worried. I think I'm excited. There's something on the screen that's bothering me. I love my birthday. It's definitely one of my favorite days of the year. I am always into a fresh start for the new year. Like I said in my post today, a lot of doors have closed, or I've closed a lot of doors, I should say. And with that, a lot of doors have opened. I'm still navigating my way through a lot of those open doors. So it's an exploration to a certain extent right now in my life, an exploratory time of my life, I should say. And that can be really uncomfortable. So, as you see, and everyone sees a little bit, but you probably see more, I don't like that discomfort. It's not fun for me. Not that anybody likes discomfort, but some people are better at it than others. You call me courageous and say that I deal with it. I think I don't deal with it well. I think that, I could probably deal with a little discomfort better. So I've been up and down with that stuff, sort of just, navigating my way through the new open doors. And it's not always the, most it's not always the most beautiful journey, but it's a journey and it's happening and going. So
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call you out because I love doing that. And where were you 3 hours ago? 3.5 hours ago?
I was crying.
Okay, so you were completely overwhelmed, right?
Yeah, I hit my wall.
Now you're hitting 42 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 3.5 hours later, and you're on a live. The Annie that I met all that time ago would never have gone live tonight. That is growth.
That's a really good point. I would have definitely hid.
That is pure growth. That is true growth. You are evolving daily. That is courageous. That is courage, and you are the definition of courage.
Well, thank you.
Among other things, but
I appreciate that very much. I think when you're in it, it doesn't always quite feel like that.
Never,
you're kind
never
of like,
does.
No, it does not feel brave. It doesn't feel courageous. It doesn't feel strong. Any of those things that I would probably most likely always say to you or someone I'm very close to, that is dealing with life.
Well, here's the difference, okay? You could have made the choice. Phone going off.
Oops, whatever. We'll deal with that later.
Never mind.
I'll just deal with that text message later. Anyway, okay. I can.
You could have ran and hid. You could have just disappeared into oblivion, and you could have just wallowed, right? But you chose not to. That is courage. You picked up on the phone. You picked up the phone and called someone. That was courage.
Well, I was like, I think my biggest issue is like that I get so mad at myself for feeling the ways that I do. Like I don't like, why do I get so mad? Like, just feel what you feel. You don't have to be mad at yourself for feeling that. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, I can be how I am, and that's okay. I don't have to say like, damn it, why do I feel sad right now? Or why am I upset? Or why can't I handle this perfectly right now? It's like, you are handling it.
Yeah.
Fucking chill, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would say to someone, like, just like chill for a minute. It's okay. And you know, I wish that I was I wish I had a little more self-compassion. So I'm gonna continue to work on that.
That's probably a good one for the new year of yours.
The 42nd year.
The new year. You know, you have your Jewish New Year, you have your birthday
Yeah,
New Year.
lot of New Year's. Lot of New Year's.
Luckily, they don't overlap too much, so you have good gaps in between. You know, to get as much in as possible.
It's true. I have a lot of resolutions. And one of my biggest things to tell people too is that I preach is like self-compassion, and I feel so strongly about it. You know, like it's so important to just like give yourself a break sometimes, most times, or like just take a breath and step back and just say it's okay. You're just being a human, you know? And it's like, you know, why can't I do that? It's really a true testament to like the fact that we're so much harder on ourselves than we are on other people.
We are, right? But as we're helping other people, we're learning for ourselves. And as we're walking other people through it every day, we get a little bit better at helping ourselves also. When it's us, we make it personal and there's emotions involved. When we're telling somebody else, we just tell them basically straight knowledge that we know works. And I think that's where it gets twisted up in our own heads, right? I mean, that's the difference. I mean, I'm working with many people on a spiritual level right now, and every time I teach them something, I'm teaching myself something. Every time I learn something, they learn something, I learn something. It's these reciprocal, you know, relationships, whether it's whatever kind of relationship, any type of.
Well, even like my post tonight, you know, it totally spawned from like a conversation with you where I just said, you know, I'm just like, I want to surround myself with people that allow me to be me and don't try to change me into what they want me to be, because for so long, that's what most people did with me. And I allowed it. I enabled it. And it became a whole post tonight because I was like, that's so like, just like a sort of really loud message that I just got from just a conversation with you where I was like, I really need to use this going into this birthday as like, this is like my real message to myself. Like, I will not allow other people to try to change me anymore. I have to be who I am. And when I'm like, we always talk about my truest self, and everybody is that you're your best you and your truest, most authentic self, right? And like, I just wasn't for so long, but you know, I didn't realize how much, I guess, impact others were having on me and trying to sort of make me into what they wanted or what felt good for them.
Well, I mean, and you know, part of it is filling our own void too, right? And we allow those things because for a while it was like a band-aid covering a void, right? And we didn't know how to accept certain things about ourselves and be okay with it. And it was just really filling voids and filling gaps and trying to make ourselves feel better about ourselves, right? And then what happens is when those become habits and those become, you know, routines for us, then we also attract the type of people that expect that from us. And at that point, everything shifts and everything changes, because then we're constantly being surrounded with people that only want certain things from us or certain parts of us or certain parts of our personality or whatever it is, right? And we train them that way because that's how we trained ourselves for so long.
Yeah, and we allow it and we enabled it. And I didn't know. I didn't realize that that was what I was doing. You know, I didn't realize that I was sending the message to people. Yeah, tell me how to be, you know, mold me into what you're looking for me to be and I'll be it. Because God, I was so good at that. You know, I can just do everything to everyone and, you know, make every single person happy except for myself.
Except for you, right?
And I've done that
and I've done that for years also, right? Like, I mean, that's just how I've lived, right? Like my whole life was always about people pleasing and just trying to fit in. When I'm such a different person, why do I need to fit in? I'm perfectly.
Well, but let's back up for a second. Fit in with whom? Like it's just in our mind of fitting in. Like what does that even mean? I mean, and if you are fitting in, quote unquote, like is it with even the people you want to be fitting in with? Like it's all relative. It's all perspective. It's all what we put on ourselves and this pressure. And I know better than anybody. Like I know that pressure of putting like that self pressure of having to be a certain way and a certain person. And it's just exhausting. It's so exhausting when you can finally let that go and not fall into this mode or mold of what you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to be or not be. Like it's so much. It's like it's like you can breathe. Like you can breathe. And I always say that to you, like I can't breathe. Like I get that feeling a lot where I just can't breathe. And in that regard, I feel like I'm starting to be able to breathe, where I can just say, like, this is who I am and this is where I want to fit, not like where you want to fit me. And like for so many years, when I look back now, my reflection on everything is like, wow, I was really put in this box. I was really like made to be this person, you know, or molded to fit in this role. And it's like, I don't want to fit in a role. I'm me. Like, I don't, you know, and here's the other part. Like, if we don't fit in that role or that we think we're supposed to fit into, or that other people want to make us, like, we can still be loved, you know, because that's what the root of it is like that need for love and that need for acceptance, right?
Well, it's finding the people that love you and accept you for who you are, right?
Well, but it's finding self-love and self-acceptance.
100%.
First.
It is, but I still think that that's a give and a take, right? Because I think when somebody shows you who you are, they can help inspire you to self-love at the same time.
For sure.
Right?
When there's true people in your life that really, really, truly have your best intentions at heart. Sometimes those people are hard to find, though, especially if you don't have any self-love. So it's like a cycle. Like it kind of goes hand in hand a little bit. So if you start to love yourself a little bit, you can allow yourself to have people in your life that love you. When you allow yourself to have people that love you in your life, you can start to self-love, right? So it's like a hand in hand.
Well, for me, I would have never found it if this person didn't find me. So I don't know. Like I would have never found it. I just wouldn't have. Like that's just where I was at. I mean, I was on a one-way track that I never would have found it, and I would have disappeared into an oblivion.
Well, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I just didn't. It happened the way I guess it was meant to happen.
Doesn't everything sort of?
It does in many ways, right? Like even when they don't make sense, and when it doesn't make logical sense, and when there's all sorts of just things that don't make sense to anyone else, right? Those are the things that are usually the best. When so many aspects of life, right? Like things don't make sense all the time. But when you know it in your truest part of who you are, that it is the right thing, you have to go with that. Your intuition, your gut, your soul, your whatever you want to call it, right? Your empathic abilities, whatever it is, there's just so many things that you can label it and call it. You all right over there?
Right.
Not that you like backed up. You backed away.
No. I was listening to what you were saying.
Like I just stopped. I just went dead stop.
Can I just be, please?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
We're working on that. We're working on that one still.
I'm listening to what you're saying and agreeing with you.
I think that there's just things in life that just don't make sense, right? Like there's so many things. Like anybody who knew me before this 7 months would have looked at me. If I would have told them, I said that I'd still be here after 7 months and I'd still be hanging in there and I'd still be making it through, and I would have changed my whole life and I'd be a different person, not a single person would have ever believed me. No one from my past, no one from who I knew back then would have ever said that. Now, some would have said, yeah, well, we knew you had it in you. You know, we hoped that you would do it. But not a single person would have said, I knew you can do this. You know, especially myself. I didn't believe I could do it.
Well, first and foremost, yourself.
Right. I mean, And it's nothing against anyone that I had in my life or still have in my life in some capacity, but you know, I attracted what I was putting out there, right? And I was, I was a different person. I'm not even close to the same person I was. And going forward, my life will never be the same ever, which is also probably why I can never go back where I came from, because I'm not going to. There's no reason anymore.
Mhm.
It's not where I'm meant to be at this point. My whole trajectory in life has changed, and it's going to continue to change, and it's going to continue to evolve on a daily basis. And I know for a fact, if that one person wouldn't have reached out to me, that there is no way I'd ever be where I am today. Not a single, not a single chance. Like, not at all. I would have never made it through this. Not even at all. You okay over there? I've never seen you so silent ever.
I'm good. I'm good. Did you want to call me out on anything else?
Wow.
No, I'm asking you if you wanted to call me out on anything else. Like when you said before that you were calling me out 3 hours ago, I was a mess, and now I'm not.
But you're evolving. Every day you're evolving. Every day you're growing. Every day you're changing. Every day you're trusting yourself more. Every day, you're going through this process as well, right? And it's hard to see it when you're the person. It's almost impossible, actually, especially at those down moments.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to have it brought to my attention. It really is. Like and I think it's easier over time to see growth. It's just in the moment, you're kind of like, I'm exactly where I was before. And why do I still feel like this? And all those things. But I mean, when you think about what I'm just recently doing and the changing of things in my life, like it's a lot. So it would make sense to have ups and downs.
Well, aren't there like the 5 major changes in life, and you decided to do like 2.5 of them in 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we do things the easy way, obviously.
Yeah, always. I'm always really into cutting corners and doing things the easy way. I never really. I mean, I probably have to say to you that I never do anything the easy way.
No, me either.
It's really rare. I don't know how.
I usually do things the most painful way humanly possible.
Painful, long, stretched out, sort of abusive to myself. but usually I can say that after everything, I'm glad that I went through what I went through, because it got me where I am.
Where you are. Yeah. I mean, and I do it in every way in my life. I mean, it's ridiculous. The more I think about it, it's like, it's absolutely insane. Like, I waited to come here, get stuck, to deal with myself, start working on myself, for the first time in my life, allow myself to feel loved, for the first time in my life, to truly be in love with someone. Like, I mean, it's the craziest, like, it makes no sense. Like, and I'm stranded, and I'm stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Right? That's life.
It's the hardest ways possible. It's like, how can I do this? How can I do this the most longest, hardest, difficult way possible?
What's the path that's never going to get me where I want to be? That's the one I'm going to take.
That's the one I'm going to overcome. That's the one I'm going to overcome.
Very good change of speech there. Yeah.
Yes. You okay over there? You okay? You okay, Squirmy?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What else did you want to say before your 42nd birthday when you wake up tomorrow?
For my 42nd birthday, I'm ready for you. Bring it.
The birthday? Sounds good.
Yeah. That's my message to 42. 42. I'm ready for you.
42 is going to be a big year for you.
It is. I believe that in all my heart and soul. I believe that.
It's going to be an amazing year for you. You've made so much changes in the last, I don't even know how long anymore. 4 months?
We're doing big things.
Yeah. Many amazing things are being worked on, and this is just the beginning stages.
It is.
Anything else you want to say to the world?
No. That's it.
In case we decide to delete this before we let it go out to the public?
It was a good one. It was a good talk.
No, we're never deleting it. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Peace.
Bye.
We're ready for you.